All right, you sound good. Just stay in front of that mic and you're going to sound great. Okay. Let us begin. You Bificus. Let's begin here. Okay.
What up, Mike? Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love.
Welcome to episode 1529 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. The Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team, the best baseball in the city outside the Dome. Join me August 4th, that's this coming Sunday. I'm at Christie Pitts, recording live at 2 p.m. right after I throw out the first pitch. Biff, that's happening. That's happening. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home. Pillars of the community since 1921. Today, returning to Toronto Mike, it's Bif Naked. Welcome back, Biff.
Hello.
When I mentioned that the guys from Great Lakes Brewery were dropping by at 12:30 to record an episode of Between Two Fermenters, their fine podcast, you said you wanted to talk to them, and then I forget why. Somebody in your band loves Great Lakes. What did I miss there?
Doug Fury loves Great Lakes, and so does Chico Missamali, so my guitar player and
You're
my drummer.
surrounded by craft
Fans.
beer aficionados.
Yes, and it is because of you, my dear friend.
Oh, really?
That
Okay.
I introduced them to GLP.
So I gave you don't drink,
Nope.
and I would give you craft beer when you'd visit, and because you would give it to your bandmates, and
Yes,
they're
I
like,
would.
"This is delicious,"
They love it.
and they fell in love with Great. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't happen to know what particular flavor or what particular beer from Great Lakes they like? You don't know.
Octopus wants to fight.
Okay, I might have some if
They
I
love
have
it.
any.
They love
octopuses
all
going
of it
home.
because I give them a variety package.
You know, they might like the Haze Mama, so I'm going to make sure I got more
They
Great
like it
Lakes
all.
for your band. But how
They like
are you
it
doing,
all.
Bif Naked?
I'm excellent. You know, I love the summer heat, and it is very hot. This past week, I enjoy it very much. There are lots of cardinals I've been seeing this week, and I love that. I do. I know that you have turned 50 since we last spoke.
I did turn 50.
And that's exciting to me because I want to tell you I'm only a couple years older than you, but I feel very responsible in a way that I have a responsibility to encourage you.
I'm listening.
To really lean into this decade because honestly, and I know that you are because you're kayaking, for example.
I was excited to tell you.
Yes, and I'm excited to receive that news.
You noticed outside. So I met Biff and Gracie. Let's acknowledge there's a third individual.
Yes,
in this,
and I brought her little mat, and she has assumed her.
Do you remember last time you were here? And because I listen to the headphones because it's all live to recording, and how it sounds here is how it's going to sound in the MP3 file. And I'm listening, and I could hear like a humming sound, like almost like a. I'm hearing this thing, and I'm like, "Where's that coming from?" It was Gracie.
Yes.
I just had that memory. Okay.
Yeah,
So you met me outside and you noticed that I look like I've been getting some sun. And I
Yes.
always have been biking. But the reason I think like when I bike, I have a helmet on. So it's like I'm wearing a hat or whatever. But I have been kayaking. So I was out yesterday. And when you're out there, even though I do put on sunscreen and everything, you get a lot more sun out there on the lake and on our rivers. And yeah, this is the new exciting addition for me in my 50s is that, yeah, I'm still biking up a storm, but now I'm paddling the Humber River,
Wow.
Lake Ontario,
Amazing.
and it's been amazing.
That is very exciting. It's fun to discover new things. And I am basically Morticia Adams. I am covered from head to toe in almost always in black. I've discovered that I can get like children's tights for $5.
Are they cheaper? Yes.
Yeah, and I am constant. I never have anything exposed, hardly ever, to the sun. Yesterday, I was in a full track suit. It was 36 degrees with the humidity. I'm comfortable. You know, I never overheat. I love the heat. I love it. I love the humidity. I can't get enough, and I soak it in.
So, was there any chance I could talk you into paddling with me? Like, I don't know, we can get you a rowboat or a kayak or a canoe or something. Get out there on the lake with me. I know you live near the lake.
It's a possibility. I never say never
You can
anymore
wear long
in life.
sleeves out there. You don't
And
have
I
to
would,
be in
and I would, yes.
Okay, well, look for that. Maybe we'll get somebody to film that at Bif Naked and Toronto Mike out on the lake. So how's your health? I know you're a survivor, so I always want to check in with you and make sure that you're still doing well.
I am. I can't complain. You know, I have. I'm always keeping up correspondence with a lot of people that I know who are currently going through cancer treatments. And I feel for them because I do, you know, it does remind me of how sometimes hopeless it feels in the middle of your treatment cycles. And as much as I try and encourage them, it feels pretty isolating. And yeah.
Well, there's a beloved FOTM who is now in the FOTM Hall of Fame. Biff, one day you keep playing your cards right, you're going to end up in the FOTM Hall of Fame. Okay?
Wonderful.
But this woman is going through treatments for cancer, and I'm getting frequent updates. And I ain't being as encouraging as possible, and she's doing great. But you're right. You don't wish it on anybody, of course. It's always very emotionally draining.
Yes,
I can imagine. So you got to keep. Not only are you working on your physical health, but you got to keep your mental health in check while you're treating the cancer.
absolutely. It's hard to know if you've never been through it before, and if your family's never been through it before. It's hard to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. As much as you tell yourself there is, it's hard to know.
So I can picture you sitting in your Mimico condo making phone calls to people who are undergoing. Just imagine getting a 5-minute call from Bif Naked. That would cheer you right up.
Or not, or it wouldn't, because it's hard to hear from somebody who's so positive, and then you're like,
well, but you are a survivor, right? It's different hearing it from you than hearing it from me. Like, you've been there. I can only imagine what it's like, but you've been there.
Well, it's like there's a lot of different survivors groups, and now it's very different. When I was going through treatment, there was no Instagram. There weren't a lot of different blogs about it. There was barely Twitter when I was going through treatment. Now there's lots of groups that you can be a part of.
Well, the only group I want to be a part of is the Bif Naked group, whatever group you're in. So we're going to cover a lot of ground. You have new music. And I thought, do you mind if I play the title track from the new album off the top here? Because it's going to introduce a topic I want to discuss with you.
Wonderful.
So let's
Thank
hear
you.
Rock and roll or die. Rock and roll. 93, you and me. In a T-top with a dream. In a band with a plan. Beauty queen on the scene. The future was ours. We were on the run. Nothing could stop us. We were champions. I got everything I need. Rock and roll. 6 strings to rage against the machine. Rock and roll. You can never take it away from me. Rock and roll or die. I got everything I need.
Whoa! Champion, and I'm listening to Champion, and I'm thinking, okay, did Bif Naked coincide the release of a song and album called Champion to basically match up with the Paris Olympics? Champion, right?
Well, it was serendipitous for sure.
Are you following the Olympics?
Well, you know, I'm trying to. I have a great love of Paris, as we know. And yeah, I wish I could be there. It's like, it would be very exciting to be there and see it unfold.
Well, why aren't you there, Biff? You could be there.
Well, I could, but I'd rather be here playing shows.
That's true. That's true. So, I was kind of excited when Canada beat Colombia in soccer yesterday because we were docked 6 points
Yes.
for cheating, basically, the whole drone thing.
Yeah,
This is the whole.
hard to understand.
But the 6 points is equivalent to 2 wins, right? You only get the 3 games and then the top
Yeah.
2. So basically, the only chance we had to advance was we had to go 3-0 in that round robin. Like we had to collect 9 points so that we could have 3 at the end of the day because they're going to dock us 6. So I'm doing all the math here. What a gutsy performance in that round robin for the women to secure 3 wins and beating
Amazing.
1-0 over Colombia. Like, I mean, yes, go girls. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. That just goes to show you how incredibly talented athletes they are.
And then Summer McIntosh, this is a fun fact for you. So Summer McIntosh later today is going to try to get her 2nd gold medal, her 3rd medal of these Olympic Games. Did you know no woman in the history of this country has ever won 2 gold medals in the same Olympics?
I did not know that.
Isn't that a mind blow?
It is. It is.
Like you'd think, oh, surely Penny Oleksiak won a couple of golds in the same. No woman in this country has ever won 2 gold medals in the same Olympics.
Well, if anyone can do it, Summer can.
She's an Etobicoke gal. That's what I was told. Anyway.
Oh, very cool. That's
Okay.
very cool.
We got to root for the home team. What can you tell me a bit? And then we'll come back. I have some more songs later, but we got a bunch of areas I want to touch on. But can you tell me about Champion? Like, can you get Champion now? When did you write Champion? Who wrote it with you? Who's playing on that? Give me some 411 on Champion.
So this song really was, I always say it's Doug's baby because when he kind of came in with his song, and we always have written the same way. He kind of comes with the riff. Tango Shoes is always my example because we still had cassette tapes. And so when, we were doing Tango Shoes, it was the same way. I remember just hearing the riff and then kind of writing the counter melody to it vocally. And I like being by myself to write melodies, but Doug really had, he just had like the whole song idea kind of fleshed out, and he had the whole, I guess the chorus. I'm pretty snobby about lyrics. I've always been really, really precious about lyric writing, and very, very. They're very personal. They're very autobiographical. But Doug really came up with like the whole rock and roll or die, and he was like. It was just really personal for him,
Maybe he wrote it while drinking a Octopus Monster.
It's very possible that it did fuel his mental abilities for sure. But it was just, I think it was a song for us anyway, a song of triumph, really. And I think that coming out of the pandemic for most people, I think why this song is so beloved is that everyone can relate to it.
Well, you know something about triumph, right? Like to remind everybody, and here, I'll do this very quickly, is that this is not Biff's first visit to the basement. So very quickly, I'll say in May 2018, Biff, you made your first appearance here. So we've been buds now for over 6 years.
Yeah.
That was episode 331. Mike chats with rock goddess Bif Naked about everything. So we covered a lot of ground. I might poke at a couple of greatest hits in this episode, but that was
nice.
May 2018. And then you came back January 2019. We're still pre-pandemic here.
Yeah.
You're in the basement. That's episode 424.
Wow.
Mike chats with, again, I'm always rock goddess. You're okay with that
You're
title,
so
right?
kind.
You're okay with that
You're
title?
so kind.
I notice I write it in every description. Mike catches up with rock goddess Bif Naked before playing and discussing her 10 favorite songs of all time. So we kicked out the jams. January 2019. Then you came back again, pre-pandemic. You came back September 2019. This is episode 510. We just caught up, and then in the middle of our conversation, somebody came in the side door and joined us on the third mic. Do you remember who that was?
That was me.
Yeah, so that was a moment.
Believe it. Yes.
So I'm looking at, I called you a rock goddess again, and then I called Mishi Me hip hop pioneer. I could have called her
Yes.
hip hop goddess, of
Could
course.
have. Yes.
I'll-
Still
you're-
can.
And you're both tremendous. Like, I think artistically and just as people, a big fan here. I'm a big Biff head and Mishi Me head, and having you
Wonderful.
two together was wild.
For me too.
Okay,
It
and that
was
was
a dream.
pre-pandemic, and I point that out
Yes.
because now there's a gap. Okay, I don't see you for a while. There's a pandemic, and you come back
There's a pandemic.
in April 2024,
Wow.
episode 1467. This is not that long ago.
No, that was this year.
Mike chats with his neighbor. Say I promoted you from rock goddess to neighbor. His neighbor, Bif Naked, about life, love, ibificus. We really dove in here. And then the mind blow. And this mind blow was discussed on an episode of FOTM Cast with Tyler Campbell and Cam Gordon, which is basically once a quarter we talk about everything in the TMU, that's Toronto Mike universe, that happened. And the mind blow we discussed was the fact that you dated Rod Black's brother,
Derek.
And in this, just to see if there's any more info this round. I'm just revisiting it like greatest hits, but
who is Mr. Manitoba?
because he was a weightlifter.
He was a bodybuilder.
Okay.
He was a champion bodybuilder.
And you were very into that, right? It's okay. This is a safe space.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's no shame in that game. Are you kidding me? And it's a mind blow because I was mentioning Rod Black's mustache in the intro because I was just starting to talk about Toronto Maple Leafs baseball. And you heard Rod Black and you said, "Is that Rod Black from Winnipeg?" And I'm like, "Yes." And you're like, "I dated his brother."
Yes,
and
I
then,
did.
Then we talked about the bodybuilding fetish.
Yeah.
I won't call it a fetish, but the passion you have for male bodybuilders.
Well,
that fair?
because ultimately, my only social life was in the gym. I was a gym rat, basically. That was just
And how old are you when you
my
go to
dating-
Vancouver? Like, how old are you when you move from
I
Winnipeg?
moved to, I was 19.
So young, because you're in. I only know this because now you're in Toronto,
Yes.
and you've been in Toronto for 6 years now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm very excited to have you here. I'm going to play a
Thank
little
you.
clip
I
later
love
and then
it.
ask you a big question about that. But you were in Vancouver for like 35 years.
For 30 years.
30 years. So I'm
Yes.
giving you an extra 5 there, but you're not old
Yeah.
enough. But you leave Winnipeg. I'm just doing the math. And I mentioned you know a thing or two about Triumph because lest we forget, okay, you were born in secret to a teenager living in India. You're the product of a Canadian girl and a British boy,
Yes.
and you were rejected by both families, hidden away in a mental hospital, and adopted by missionaries who moved you to North America.
Yes.
And so that's such an interesting beginning for you. You're not even Biff yet. You're Beth, and look at where you are now. Like now people are paying money to see you perform the songs they love. You've got a new album. Like you know a thing. You're a survivor. You know a thing or two about Triumph.
Thank you. I hope so. And I know a thing or two about Mimico and being a good neighbor with Toronto Mike.
Yes, I am your new Toronto neighbor. Remember, I'm not in Mimico. I need to correct you on that.
Oh,
one,
this
but
is just Etobicoke.
This is still southern Etobicoke, but
South
right next
Etobicoke.
door. But shout out to the VP of sales. He's a Mimico guy. There's a lot of good Mimico FOTMs. But you know a thing or two about Triumph, and Champion is about Triumph
Yes, it is definitely about triumph and victory.
and victory. I'm shortly, so we talked about your interest in bodybuilding, and soon, I'm just teasing it, very soon I'm going to tell you a little bit about the chat I had yesterday. My guest yesterday morning was with Jeff Woods.
Oh, I know Jeff very well.
He's got a painting by you in his home. He lives in Thornbury, Ontario, and he
Yes,
says
he
on his
does.
wall he's got a Bif Naked painting.
Oh, that's very nice.
So
That's
do you
very
paint?
nice. I do.
Okay, so do you sell your paintings?
No.
So how come I don't have a Bif Naked painting in
I will
my,
make you one.
my fucking studio, Bif? Like, what does it take? Your
I'll bring you
neighbor,
one.
you know?
I'll bring you one.
Okay.
I should have really been on the ball and brought you a belated birthday gift anyway.
Well,
but
the
I was
painting could have
running
been
late. Exactly. So
you know what?
now I'm thinking. in
Can you
hindsight,
call
like,
Jeff Woods up and just
Yes.
say, I need that painting back?
oh,
It's going
no,
to
he can
Toronto Mike
keep
for his
that.
birthday.
He can keep that.
Okay. Well, the Rod Black connection is amazing. And we're all still reeling from that. It's a true mind blow.
That's
And
so funny.
Rod Black, I introduced him to a gentleman named Keith Stein. Keith Stein, by the way, who owns the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team. They play at Christie Pitts. It's semi-pro ball. It's excellent entertainment value. Tickets cost you nothing. You just show up, enjoy, maybe get a drink, maybe get a hot dog, whatever. But, well, not you, Biff, because you're vegan. So, we know
They
hot
do
dogs,
have
but they
vegan
have
hot
vegan
dogs.
hot dogs.
I'm sure
there.
they have them there. They're
I bet you-
popular.
you're-
They're popular.
You know, is it tofu? What's going on in the vegan hot dog?
They have so many brands now. The game is just It's unbelievable. There's Impossible, Gusto, Beyond. I mean, there's just like so many brands.
And when did you first
Eves.
become vegan? How old were you?
I don't know. I was in my 20s.
Was it difficult back then to find good options, like particularly if you were going to eat out of the house?
I never ate out of the house. My restaurant was always a grocery store. If I was hungry, I would just get an apple.
Okay.
It was the easiest way to eat in the world. I just never understood all the fake meat. I never ate fake meat.
No fake meat for you.
I never ate it. I don't know.
But so I introduced Rod Black to Keith Stein. I just want to tell you, Biff, this is a true story. Keith Stein listens to many a Toronto Mic'd episode, and
Very good.
he heard many Bif Naked episodes, but he heard the one in April, and he heard it, and he just fell in love with you. He actually,
that's so
he was like,
sweet.
I would love that woman to sing the national anthem
I
before
sound like
Toronto
a cat.
Maple Leafs
You
game.
know, I actually sing like a cat. That's how I learned how to sing, was listening to cats.
Is that right?
No.
Oh, is that maybe Stray Cats? Rock this
That's
town.
very nice. That's very nice.
So I'm going to now tell you, Biff, and tell everyone listening that I am at the game this coming Sunday at Christie Pitts.
Very
Christie and
nice.
Bloor. You guys should feel the hill, but make sure you drop by and say hi. I'm recording live from beyond the left field fence. So 2 p.m. start. I'm scheduled to throw out the first pitch. And
Wow.
then I'm going to make my way across the field to my recording table where I'm going to record a episode of Toronto Mic'd with whoever the heck shows up.
That is very cool.
Have you ever thrown out the first pitch at a baseball game?
I have to actually think about it. I don't think so.
Not
but
a single time.
I don't think so.
At a how about a Vancouver Canadians AAA or whatever whatever the level is over there, a minor league game. They didn't say Bif Naked.
I can't remember. I might have.
You wouldn't
I
forget a
don't-
thing like that.
Like, did I ever actually? I don't know, but I did play on the Headliners ball team that was coached by Steve Ewan from the Vancouver province for many years. I was always the rover because I couldn't do anything else. But but I was hit in the orbital bone
Oh no!
once because I couldn't catch the ball.
Oh,
but
like
I did have a
screaming
pink,
liner. Gotcha.
I did have a pink glove that I was very proud of, and I couldn't actually hit the ball straight, so they didn't necessarily. They just kept telling me to try and bunt or just try as hard as I could.
Yeah, try to get the bat on the ball
That's
and run
all.
like heck.
That's all.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of slow pitch, and we had a minimum female requirement. Okay, and sometimes, and I don't know.
I don't take any offense to this. by
No,
the
I
way.
mean this is just
Totally
a.
understandable.
It's
just
when you-
fun.
when you play mixed.
A lot
whatever.
of snacks.
Like you can't just put
snacks.
if you're playing mixed slow pitch, you can't just put 9 dudes on the field. Like,
No.
this is just the
No.
rule. So some leagues you have to have 4, some it's 3. Every league has a different rule.
Lots of fun.
But if you just getting one, you'd be a valuable member of that team
That's right.
because just based on that alone.
It's so much fun.
So Jeff Woods, did you know? Maybe you know this, Biff. Did you know Jeff Woods is a proud bisexual man?
I did not know that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of knowing it now.
Well, he was here yesterday. Well, he actually came out publicly as a bisexual man on Toronto Mic'd.
I did not know that either. I'm proud of you for that. That's wonderful.
Well,
It's wonderful to hear.
he told me he felt comfortable enough,
Very
and I asked him yesterday. I said, like, what, what
You're a
made you
safe
do that?
space, Mike.
Maybe, but then he said, I asked him a question about something. I must, and then I wondered, well, am I like Tom Hanks when he won the Best Actor award for Philadelphia, and in his speech he thanked his gay teacher who was not out.
Oh,
So he outed his gay teacher, and I'm like, oh, I hope
Wow.
I hope I didn't out Jeff Woods.
wow.
But Jeff is writing a book on being bi, and yeah, it was quite a conversation. So people should check out the Jeff Woods
That's
conversation.
very cool. Very, very cool.
And again, very personal, private question. But would we find Bif Naked on a similar spectrum?
Of course. But everyone knows that. And
No new information there.
No, that's always been kind of something that everyone's known. But what I discovered over the last few years as language has evolved for people, because it has evolved and kind of, what used to be popular, a lot of my lesbian friends no longer like the word lesbian. Now they prefer the word queer. And so language has changed, and comfort level has changed as just kind of like our society has changed. And I think people change over time. preferences change, things kind of get dynamic and fluid. I also think as people, possibly as we mature, maybe we blossom a little bit differently. And I also think that people discover things about themselves that change over time. And as people kind of evolve in their own sexuality, our responses to those people change and evolve too. I mean, when people say they're bi, it's very possible they're actually pansexual.
I was going to ask you what the difference is, pansexual versus bisexual.
So the truth is, if I'm a bisexual girl, which I am, well, I've always been, but the truth is, if I met like the right person who was, say, for example, a trans man, and I would be like, yeah, I'd be totally into you, then the reality is I'm probably actually pansexual, meaning that...
Because bi means two.
Yeah, kind of.
And that assumes there's two genders.
Yes. It also just says that you only would go, just only two ways. But if you're pansexual, you kind of would be like open to everybody.
Like gender is irrelevant. You're into the spirit of the individual.
Yeah.
Am I doing all right over here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fascinating.
Yeah.
And then polyamorous. Jeff Woods is polyamorous, and I understand that simply means you're not monogamous, and your lovers would know that because you'd be very open and honest with them.
I think that it's very misunderstood. I think polyamory is very, I don't know. I think that's you should do a whole episode on that because it's a very popular notion nowadays. A lot of people misunderstand it. A lot of people think it is something that's kind of enmeshed in, like, say, swinging, but it's not.
Right.
It really is a bit more of a mindset, or it is more of a philosophy, or it's more of, whatever it means to that person, which could be just more openness. It could be more like something that is very unyielding or boundless. I don't know. I think it may have a different meaning for lots of people.
And again, so very, very personal to each individual. But
Yeah.
I'm always interested in the journey of self-discovery, like, because, we have societal norms that are sort of thrust upon you at every opportunity from the time you're a kid. And this societal norms is like, a guy and a gal fall in love, get married, and have kids. Like, this is sort of like this structure that's sort of this template that they're trying to force upon everybody. And it is interesting as you evolve as a person and as you age, like learning, no, this is how I am naturally. This is what feels right for me, and this is what works for me. And then now I'm with you. The terms we have for these things, I feel I've only become aware of some of these terms in the last 10 years. Like, we have come so far with our language
Yes.
and how we describe it. Because, Jeff talks about being bisexual, but if honestly he's talking to him for 90 minutes yesterday, he's pansexual. Like, it's just
Yes.
language has evolved.
That's right. That makes total
So
sense.
now you have homework, right, Biff? You need to listen to my conversation. And also, here's what's interesting, too. Jeff and I also kicked out 10 of his favorite bisexual jams.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you'll want to tune in to Jeff Woods, a very sexy conversation. And he's got that great voice,
Yes,
right?
he does. Yes, he does. Yeah. Yes.
All right, so
a radio
everybody-
star in his own right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Records and rock stars. Okay, so check out Jeff Woods. This is you, Biff. So I am going to ask you many more questions about Champion, but before we kick out more Bif Naked, I'm actually going to play a song because I want to ask you, I did this the first time you visited, but I'm going to revisit it because I said I'm going to do a few greatest hits here. Can you name this song, Bif Naked?
Isn't this moist?
Yes, this is Moist.
Silver.
Correct. Canada won silver, and I was in a FOTM group chat on WhatsApp. Let me know if you went in there, Biff. A lot of fun in there. And I wrote in there, like Moist said, because he says in the song, "We are silver." So this is also an Olympic jam. Silver. But let's remind the listenership who can't remember your first visit to Toronto, Mike. Why am I playing this song?
Well, David was such a heartthrob.
Still is. I saw him at
Yeah.
History 2 summers ago.
Yeah, such a heartthrob. In this video, he was very heartthrobish. And he was very mysterious and heartthrobby in this video. I think I was in this video.
You're in this video.
Yeah,
Biff,
okay.
I feel like I need to jog your memory on this.
I was in this because I was in 2 of their videos. I think. I was in like I forget the other one.
I'm going to help you out.
Yeah, I was in 2 of their videos. It was like 1994.
I thought I had a note on this, but I might not have a note on this, Biff. But you were absolutely in this video. Yeah, about mid-90s or whatever. You were in this video. And did you audition to get that role, or were you buds with David Asher?
I was fortunate enough to have been on a tour with Moist, a national tour, supporting them. When I had put out my first record.
Amazing. And that's the album with Daddy's Getting Married in it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Daddy's Getting Married. Still dig it. Dug it the first time I heard it here.
Awesome.
Still great. So you've been in more videos though, right? I remember reading it and I was going to take a note, but I don't think I took the note. But you've been in several videos. Like this is something like Biff would just be in your video. You did a bunch of videos, right?
Yeah, I was in what was their other video I was in?
Come on, you got to remember this, Biff.
I can't
Or you're
remember.
going to force me to Google it.
I know. I forget what it was called, but we shot it in Los Angeles, and we were walking in the Los Angeles, like, I don't know, water basins. It was quite polluted.
Okay. The Offspring's The Kids Aren't All Right. Which
I
is
was not in that video.
You're not in that. Okay,
No.
because we have a gentleman, I think I told you this before, named Rosie Gray Teo, who will go to Wikipedia pages and correct things that are kind of disclosed on Toronto Mics. So on your wiki page right now,
I don't know why it says
Bif Naked has also appeared.
I was not in an Offspring video.
Yeah, and that's a big video too. The Kids Aren't All Right. Okay.
I was not in an Offspring video. I've seen that several times.
The other song by Moist, whose video you were in, was also a big Canadian hit. Believe Me.
That's the one. I think that's the
All right,
one.
it's a good
Yeah.
thing we got that right on the wiki. So this, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you what the wiki page says, and then we can tell Rosie Gray Teo to correct the public record. So
Thank you, Rosie.
it says The Offspring's The Kids Aren't All Right.
I don't think I was in that video.
I'm going to have to review the tape.
I haven't met them.
Like the Zapruder film, I'm going to go through that one. Okay. Believe Me and Silver
Yes.
by Moist. We're
Yes.
listening to Silver now. Both great songs.
Yes.
Live on releases, Get With It.
Yes.
Simple Plans, Save You.
I think so.
That one, I believe there was a part at the end where people who
Rene
had survived.
Angele, I met him at the shoot. I was so out of my mind. I was so excited.
And Sharon Osbourne.
I did not get to meet her.
Okay, she's in that video too. Renee's no longer with us, sadly. Shout out
right.
to Ridley Funeral Home. But Celine Dion, have you met her?
I haven't, but I just am such a huge fan, obviously.
Well, did you see her performance at the opening ceremonies in Paris?
Tears. Loved it.
Did you see the documentary about her stiff person's disease that she's dealing with?
I did not see the documentary. I did watch the trailer about 20 times.
If you see the documentary, you're kind of blown away by her performance in Paris because
Exactly.
it doesn't look like she's ever going to be able to sing the way she's used to singing.
Absolutely.
Because this thing, what it does to your chest cavity, like
Yeah.
there's no expansion or whatever. And it's really a difficult watch. There's a scene where she has this seizure and you watch Celine Dion and the camera's just, I don't know, they're filming this documentary. She's getting treatment and she has a seizure. And I guess the guy the guy or gal or person who's running the camera, like just shoots the film. Like maybe this was the orders, like no matter what happens, keep rolling or whatever. But it's wild to be in the room while this is going down because it's really scary.
Yeah, I'm sure. And, that's the big question with documentaries. I mean,
Like when do you put the camera down and help the person who's having an episode in front of you, or when do you shut it down? Or if you have orders, film everything, then you just do what you're told. If there's other people to help out, Celine.
yes. I mean, yeah, I mean, I know that from our own footage that we're editing. I don't know.
What's going on there?
So we're still in editing. I think that, we've been shooting for 4 years.
And what is this exactly? Remind me.
So the documentary that we're shooting, was supposed to be finished this year and going to TIFF, but we're still in editing.
And this is the
Bif Naked.
Ibificus?
Yeah, this is the Bif Naked documentary.
Okay, I needed an update on this. So the CFNY documentary is scheduled to be at
Very
TIFF.
exciting.
Are you in that?
No.
Okay, but you know what? They do cut it off in like 92 or something, so you're probably the next gen. But okay, so enough about the CFY documentary. But I'm very interested in the Bif Naked documentary. What's the holdup? Who can we blame for this?
There's no blame. We're very excited.
Oh, I need someone to blame. Colin Bishop. Makes me feel better. Give me a scapegoat.
No, it's okay. We're still editing. We're very excited. Score G is the production, Electric Panda, and Super Channel, and we're still in production, so still going. No end in sight.
Is the goal now TIFF 2025?
Yes. Well, Sundance, but
Okay,
yes.
Sundance. That's the Robert Redford.
In Cannes, I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
then you'll be back in France for.
Yeah.
And when you came in, I made you take it off for your headphones, but you're wearing a Paris hat because you said, you spent a lot of time in Paris.
Yes, I do. As
But it's a red
Saint-Germain
hat.
Yes, it is. So I have to take it off a lot if I ever do photos, because I don't want anyone to mix it up and think that I am in a red hat from America.
It would shock. That would be a mind blow if we all learned Bif Naked was on the MAGA agenda.
Oh dear. Well, that would definitely be confusing. My parents my dad, of course, is gone, but my parents were, they were Democrats their whole lives, and yeah, it wouldn't be.
I was at a brunch at the Olive. You ever been to the Olive? Okay, I know.
The Olive Garden has
we don't have any more, though.
They have bottomless salad.
But here we don't have any. We don't have an Olive Garden in Toronto, right? Or the GTA.
I don't know.
We don't have one because I do remember that there was one near Sherway Gardens when I was younger, and it is long gone. I think it became an Eastside Mario's or something like that. But okay, so where the hell was I just going there? Do you remember? Oh yeah, I'm at the Olive, which is a brunch place.
Yes.
And there's a table. This is right. So we're at our table. It's me, Monica, my wife, and three of my four kids. Everyone but Michelle is there. So James, Jarvis, and Morgan. And we're having brunch. This is actually the day after I saw Cypress Hill so this is a Saturday morning.
Very nice.
Passed. Okay, it was great. So we're having the brunch, and it's a good time. But the table beside us has four guys look like they're motorcycle guys, but two of the four have Trump hats.
Oh.
So Trump 2024 hats.
Wow.
And I'm hearing a bit of the convo. They're really going at Kamala, like they're just trashing her.
Oh.
But then one of the guys says, he starts telling the other three guys what's really happening. And what's really happening, according to this guy, and I'm listening to my left ear, oh, wow. I'm hearing MAGA people in the wild talking. And he says, what really happened here is Joe Biden has died. So Joe Biden, no, this is what he says. And he's not doing a bit. Like he's telling his buddies. And they're all like, oh, yeah, really? Like, he's like, yeah. That's why the Democrats are in this panic mode, because Biden died. So when you see speeches and stuff, and everything, that's like AI. You're not seeing Joe. It's all AI, and that's why they're parachuting in Kamala, because Joe Biden is dead. Like he sincerely believed. And afterwards, because this guy did a dick thing to the waitress. So after these guys leave, I'm talking to the waitress about this dick thing they did with this water. And then she's telling me they're regulars, first of all, but you think that I told her about this Joe Biden thing I heard, and she goes, yeah. But that same guy has told her that Michael Jackson is still alive. So this is the kind of stuff coming out of MAGA in the wild.
Wow. Well, and actually, wow, but not wow. Wow, yet not wow.
And how do you reason with somebody who believes Joe Biden is dead and Michael Jackson is alive?
You cannot. And I actually heard, and I don't know how you feel about the CBC, but I heard on
the CBC.
I heard on a CBC interview recently, and I'm going to have to, I feel badly, I don't remember the author, but she had written a book about QAnon, and how it's, oh gosh, I feel badly, I don't remember the title of the book. It was like QAnon and the Destruction of the American Family or something like this. Okay. And how you can try and reason with your family member who you're basically losing to QAnon. And this gentleman...
Is it called The Quiet Damage? QAnon and the Destruction of the American Family?
Probably, yes.
Jessie Lynn Cook.
That's right. And she was talking about a young man who lost his mother basically to QAnon during the pandemic, and she had become kind of like enmeshed in this online chat group, and then became absolutely, enamored with this QAnon community, and became enraged whenever her family members would try and reason with her, and they would.
You can really lose a loved one through
Yeah,
this.
and they did, and they literally lost. Their dad had died, and then basically they tirelessly tried to reason with their mother, who was an educated woman, and they literally lost her to this community. But they couldn't reason with her at all, even though they researched proof and proved all these things wrong and all this conspiracy stuff. They proved it wrong. But like these fellows that you're describing, you cannot reason with them often.
Well, their fearless leader yesterday was suggesting to a black woman journalist that Kamala Harris was not black or something to this effect.
I see.
This is what we're dealing with here. So why do you wear a red hat is what I want to know, Bif. I'm just goofing on you. That's not, not a mega hat. But,
with my little Paris Saint-Germain.
Your birth year on the back.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
Very nice.
All right, I'm going to kick out a little more Bif here. Then I got more questions.
Sitting at the back of bus 42, staring out the window, dreaming of you. I'm covered in the lost baby soft. Come on, gonna skate around the race ring. Everyone watching us do our thing on a giant dance floor, just you and me. Come on. Hold my hands, fingertips. You can touch my lips. You were such a trip. Fly with me like an angel boy in my underwear, and we just don't care. Hot nights, soft lights at the roller dome. Are you here alone? Are you here alone? Hot wheels on fire at the roller dome. Wanna take me home? Will you take me home? Your heart, my heart, burning, burning, burning. Your wheels, my wheels, turning, turning. Your heart, my heart, burning, burning, burning. That's how I feel.
Did you write these lyrics?
Yes, I did.
Is it autobiographical?
Yeah, it's basically about Champs Roller Rink in Lexington, Kentucky.
Any bodybuilders roller skating there?
No, but my sister Shireen had pink and purple pom-poms all over her roller skates. And it was just, no one had as many pom-poms on their roller skate as my sister.
Well, I like this song because it brings you back to a reminiscent of an era where teens were at the roller rink.
Yeah, perhaps it still happens today. I mean, we can go on the, I think there was a Faith Hill, is there a Faith Hill music video where everyone was roller skating? I mean, there still is that culture today.
Who's the Ego Has Landed guy? The British singer. It'll come to me in a minute. Ego Has Landed. He was roller skating in a video where he took off his skin. Do you remember this? The Ego.
Was it Jamiroquai?
No, this is Robbie Williams.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this?
Yes,
there's a famous video with him. He's roller skating and then he rips off his skin.
Oh, I see. I'll have to go and
You
look
have to dig that
up.
one up. But what about, so this begs the question, like, did you create a video where you're roller skating in it?
Not yet.
Is that on the agenda?
Yeah, I don't know. Once I broke my wrist in 2020, now I'm like a little bit leery. I don't know.
You could wear one of those protective braces.
I
or
could.
something.
I could.
Roller Dome. Digging the vibe here. No, digging it. Question on, so we talked about you making a video of you roller skating. Are you still acting? I know you got a whole whack of acting credits, but are you still acting?
I love the theater. I do. I love the theater because I love stage.
Right.
But I haven't really sought it out, but I'm, now I kind of am getting into it again. I love it, but I'm, I like really dark roles. I had taken on, the first feature film I did, I played a really hippie girl adjacent to this character named Sean Lau. A lot of people may know him.
What's this movie called?
It's called Lunch with Charles.
Okay.
And it was the first principal lead role I ever had. And it ruined me it was the most beautiful, nurturing experience I could have ever had as an actor. The cast was amazing. The crew was amazing and nurturing. And it was just the most wonderful experience I could have ever had. And everyone was wonderful.
And it ruined you. Okay.
Because it was just so nurturing.
Can I jog your memory on a movie you were in that starred amongst the many stars of this movie is my dear friend Stu Stone.
Stu Stone?
Do you know the name Stu Stone?
Was it in The Crossing?
No, this is Stu Stone right here with Jamie Kennedy. This is his album Blowing Up, okay? It was Stu Stone and you were in The Boys Club.
Oh, I see. Yes, I had a very small role. I played a liquor store manager, and Devon Sawa was in that as well.
100%.
Yes.
And the late, great Chris Penn.
Yes, Chris Penn was in it as well. Very nice.
Who, Sean Penn, of course, is his brother, Academy Award winner, but his other brother, Michael Penn, is in that as well. Michael Penn, of course, great musician, and a lot of connections, because Michael Penn is married to Amy Mann.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. You always know.
Well, also Rush.
Little...
I'm not a Rush aficionado like Rush Mike or James Edgar and all these Rush heads, but I believe there's only one Rush song with a woman on vocals. And Time Stands Still. Do you remember this? That's Amy Mann.
Yes.
Does,
I see.
So Rush brought in Amy Mann from Till Tuesday to do a verse on Time Stands Still. How's Gracie doing over there?
Grace is very funny. She just
okay.
woke up from her
All right, we need a Gracie update here.
she just woke up from her nap.
Gracie's was eyeing my my kayak over there.
Yeah.
I think she
woke up from her nap, so we now have her at the mic.
And how old is Gracie?
4 years old.
Okay, just a kid, as Polly Walnuts would say.
Yeah,
just a kid.
4 years old.
All right, as long as she doesn't unplug us, we're gonna be good here. Now we mentioned that you were in Winnipeg when you were growing up, and then you were in Vancouver for 30 years, and now you're here.
Years.
Can I play a little clip? Just I never played this on Toronto Mike before, but just a little bit of an appearance you made on the Rick Mercer Report.
Yes.
Okay.
Vancouver, British Columbia, a sparkling jewel in this confederation that we call Canada. And let's face it, this is pretty darn sparkling weather for January. And to help explain why Van is so grand, I am joined now by my very good friend, Bif Naked. Ow! Recording artist Bif Naked is going to help explain why Van is so wonderful.
It's awesome here. Beautiful British Columbia.
Beautiful BC. And where are we going to go first? Let's go to the aquarium. I like it there.
Okay, I've never been there. This one is like a little grenade. Oh. He likes my miniskirt.
I think it was trying to take a peek there.
How do you tell if they're a boy or a girl? I
Penis.
can't see. Well, I can't see a thingy.
Seal penis. It's popular in. No, it is. It's popular somewhere. It's aphrodisiac, apparently.
See, I think if I wave
Although I'm not
at
getting
them,
anything
they'll
off
say,
it.
Hi, honey. Look, you looked right at me.
Oh,
Kissy.
that was
He
pretty
doesn't
good.
have a penis.
Oh my goodness.
Crowd goes wild. Okay, more of that. It's awesome. So Rick Mercer, also an FOTM, but I was struck by this whole bit, and I'll just bring it down because it goes on and on. But you're basically celebrating Vancouver as this amazing marvel. You love it so much. It's all about Bif Naked, loving Vancouver, but you left Vancouver. So I need to revisit this. Do we get to keep you? Any regrets? You gonna ever return to Vancouver? What's the status of your homeland here?
I know that you know because we've talked about it so many times. I fell in love with Toronto. I did. and I still do every day more and more. I love
What
it here.
specifically? What specifically? Because you got the mountains over there, you got an ocean over there. Like I'm kayaking the lake, but you got an ocean over there.
Yeah, but the lake is here. The lake is here.
It's pretty big, right? It's a great lake.
There are cardinals here.
You don't have cardinals in Vancouver.
There are no cardinals in Vancouver
I
at
did not know
all.
that.
I don't think there are any chipmunks.
Okay, that's a deal breaker for me.
I don't think there are chipmunks.
But they got things like seals or whatever. Like, what do I've done the walk in
do.
Stanley Park.
They
Those
do.
guys are just down there. We don't have that.
Well,
Like, I'm glad you're here.
I am
Listening to this
too.
from about almost 20 years ago now, I think. Listening to this clip on Rick Mercer, it's wild because you're basically like the Vancouver advocate or whatever. I know you're just doing it for the show or whatever, but it's amazing we were able to pry that person who was in love with Vancouver, we were able to pry her away and bring her to the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
I just really, I have made so many wonderful friends here, and I love it. I've set up a home here. I have roots here now, and I love it. I feel like when I first came here, I was looking for the purpose that I could have. Vancouver is very specific in the ways that I can, be of service, if that makes any sense. There are certain things that needed help, I guess. You can find organizations and not just charities, but nonprofits that could use a hand or needed to have their I don't even know how to put it. There are organizations that needed a hand, needed their
No, that makes sense to me.
amplification.
Right.
And coming here, it seems like it was a bit. You'd think that a city with such a vast population would have things in place, but Toronto needs a lot of work, and they need a lot of help.
No, without a doubt. And this now leads me to a question I was going to ask you, because you're such a compassionate person, particularly with people who have addictions and mental health issues. I'm curious your thoughts when you hear about the fact that the leader of the Conservative Party in this country, who polls suggest will form the next government whenever we go to the polls again federally, that he'd like to defund, for example, safe injection sites, like the rhetoric against safe injection sites that I hear. And I'm curious what your thoughts are, Bif Naked, on safe injection sites.
Well, obviously, I think that they're the powers that are threatening to take funding away are misguided. I think that they are not seeing the big picture. I think that they're not being told the right information, and they're not hearing from the right people.
They seem to be lacking compassion.
Well, they're lacking information. They're not getting the right information.
That might be willfully blind. Like, I feel like they have the right information. They're cherry picking the information, which there seems to be this unwillingness to help the addicted and treat that like the mental illness it actually is.
Yeah.
Like, we should treat that. The addict should be treated the same as the cancer patient.
Yes, in many ways, yes. There's a real disconnect there. And when they're talking about, that's you can do a whole show or several shows just on that alone. And it's a bigger question than just that. When they talk about safe injection sites, a lot of people are very quick to say that it's just a party place, or that it's not, that it's not helping anybody.
But an addict's going to shoot their drugs, and they can do it there where you can get a new clean needle, and you can get resources to help you. For example, we have a methadone clinic here. We can help you, right? Like there's resources and a medical help should you have a bad dose, fentanyl, etc., the Naxalone. All this is there, or they can go do it in the back alley and die.
Yes.
So to me, it's about we have a vulnerable populace. They're addicts, and if we can do something for their physical, mental health, then we as a society should do that. We should help our most vulnerable people.
Yes, definitely we should.
Okay.
And people that a a lot of lawmakers, for example, and a lot of people that are against these sites obviously don't have all the information that they should be having, and they don't have a family member, for example, that may or may not be suffering from addiction.
Well, sometimes they do, which makes it all the worse. But I want to get back to some more music, Biff. More music.
I broke into your car last night to leave a piece of myself behind. I am hoping you will find it in your heart to love me. I look into you. I want you to see me. I want you to know. It might seem unseemly, but I am here. Oh yes, I am here. And I'm not going anywhere. Unspeakable, small and severe are my feelings. I will stay near, I will keep you up, I will keep you up. And I'm not going anywhere. I broke into your car last night to leave a piece of myself behind. I am hoping you will find it in your heart to love me. I broke into your car last night. I don't care if it's wrong or right. I am hoping you will find it in your heart to love me. Are you alone? Are you sitting there with nobody home? Can I come by? Oh, never mind. Oh, no, never mind. You know I'm already here. I look at you. I want you to see me. I want you to know. It might seem unseemly, but I am here. I'm already here. And I'm not going anywhere. I broke into your car.
Is this autobiographical, Biff?
No laws were broken in the making of this song.
All right, you haven't broken in any cars.
No.
Okay. Always curious, because like I said, when I heard that song, Daddy's Getting Married, it's like, oh, here's the Bif Naked origin story. She's going to join a band, and she's going to marry her drummer. Like, it's all in there. It's all in there. Okay. But another cut from Champion. And how long has it been since you put out a new album?
Well, since a new studio album has come out, it's been about 15 years.
Wow.
I know.
How come the delay? What's with the 15-year pause?
Well, honestly, I think
Can't
that...
blame the pandemic for all 15 years.
No.
What's going on here?
Well, we put out the first single, Jim, was in 2020, so we intended to put this record out maybe 4 years ago, but then it changed, and then we changed, and we wrote more songs for it, and we took songs off, and we tinkered with it, and it's a completely different record. I'm glad that we waited. So we probably could have put it out 5 years ago. I don't know.
So Jim is the oldest cut on this album, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And how old is Jim?
Jim came out in 2020.
Okay.
Valentine's Day 2020.
Let me hear a bit of Jim here.
And again, you never told the truth when I believed in you again and again. You tried to take control, unworthy of my love and money. Criticize and tell me how I feel. Tell me I don't measure up. Telling me I overreach. I'm begging you to leave. I'm begging you to leave. Fill me with rage. Fill my head with your lies. You never loved me, Jim. You made a fool of me again and again. You never told the Could've done it all.
Who is this Jim guy?
Jim could be anybody. Everybody's got a Jim.
You changed the name to protect the guilty. Smart. Smart. Okay, wicked awesome. One quick note there on our way out here is that I always see you. I'm always happy to see you. And although you do cover yourself up quite a bit, I can't help but notice ink all over your body. A lot of tattoos.
I like it.
Okay,
Like
but
it.
what I didn't know is that, and this is a note I was reading about you, is that your life's journey is showcased in these tattoos. Like, this isn't just random shit you're throwing on your body or whatever, right? Like your life story is permanently put upon your body.
I guess so. I always say it's our story recorded in our skin.
Like, it's like, I'm not gonna ask you to get naked for me, Biff, okay? Even though that is your last name, but like, if somebody were to see you naked,
Right.
would that be like reading I Biff a Kiss? Like, just
It's
read it.
possible. I have the Taj Mahal on my back. Around my whole rib cage is Om Namah Shivaya. I have Ahimsa. I have Shanti Prema. I have Azadi. I have Farsi. I have Hindi. I love words. I love language. I love lots of different deities.
You love Grace?
Yes, I have recently added her name.
See, that one I can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that your most recent tattoo? Like, what's the process? Two questions. One is, like, what is it like? You're going on a walk and then you have this idea for the next one and then you start like
I
what?
always have ideas. I have ideas all of the time. I never get half of them. I always have ideas.
But are you also running out of space?
I am running out of space. I don't have any tattoos on my legs at all. Even though
What?
it's very popular now to have tattoos on
Are you
your
kidding
legs.
me? Because I'm on the waterfront trail every day.
Yes.
Very popular, I've noticed, especially with young women, is one leg
Yes.
gets the whole deal. Like, one leg's bare and one leg is got just covered in ink.
Or like little patchwork, whimsical
Right.
tattoos are very popular.
Right.
Yeah.
So why is there no leg tattoos? Like, is this just
I think it's generational. I think my generation of girls.
But that's more canvas for your
didn't
story.
Have that. I know, but there's spring weddings. There are, other things. I think that when I'm 75, maybe I will decide to become a burlesque star at 75. Who knows? Maybe I won't want any tattoos at that
My mom
point.
turned 75 yesterday.
Oh, congratulations. That's wonderful.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know what your next tattoo is going to be?
Well, I keep thinking I want knuckle tattoos. And I don't have any on
Like
my
love and
hands.
hate? Like in
or
Do the Right Thing?
Oh, we always think of something silly. We always we want tzatziki, which would fit. We always want
I don't even know what that means. What is that word
It's
again?
like a dip.
Okay,
it's like
dip.
food.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Or we want sandwich, like as in knuckle sandwich.
Wow.
Or we think of the silliest things for knuckle tattoos all the time.
But you take it very seriously. I mean, this is permanent, so you,
I know,
you
but
think
it's-
long and hard.
Well, now it's whimsical. Like now it's funny. Everything's funny. Nothing's off the table.
I
We know a
guess,
guy who has "don't care" on his knuckles.
Would you put a Toronto Mic'd logo on your body?
It's possible. Anything's possible.
Okay.
Anything is possible.
On our way out, I need to give much love to the greatest Italian food you'll find in the country. It is Palma Pasta. Much love to Palma Pasta. Go to palmapasta.com. They have locations in Mississauga and Oakville. And of course, recyclemyelectronics.ca. Biff, if you got a drawer there in Mimico full of old cables, old electronics, old devices, don't throw that in the garbage because the chemicals end up in our landfill. Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca, put in your Mimico postal code, and then you'll find out a place near you. You can drop it off. Be
Wonderful.
proper. You got that?
Yes.
All right. Later today, by the way, so I mentioned Great Lakes Brewery is here next, and we're going to record Between Two Fermenters. But later today, Brad Jones from Ridley Funeral Home is going to come by, and we're going to record a new episode of Life's Undertaking. So I'm looking forward to my hang with Brad Jones. You know, he's a pillar of our community.
Wonderful. I have a measuring tape from Ridley's
What have you been measuring with that?
that you gave me.
Anything, right? Anything.
Everything.
Derek Black. I just wanted to put a loop on all that. Okay, Biff, I got to say, I always love our chats.
Me too.
Will you be back at some point?
Yes,
With
indeed.
a painting for the studio, I would hang it up.
Indeed.
And is it going to be Jeff's, or are you going to get a new painting?
No, I'm going to make one just for you.
Champion is available now. Where can we go to find out? Like, if I want to see Bif Naked live, where do I see a listing?
You can find listings on, I don't know.
BifNaked.com?
Yeah, or just
Because
go
that's somebody's
to,
maintaining that, right?
you could just
BifNaked.com.
go anywhere. You could go to my Instagram. There's a link in bio that will have it, or you could go on Facebook, or you could go.
You're easily
anywhere.
findable.
Yes.
Oh, look at this.
Hard to miss.
Her Royal Majesties. Okay,
Yes.
oh, vintage pet rescue.
Yes.
You love your animals.
Yes, I
Always
do.
working to help with the charities involving our animals. Look, you're a very charitable person. Like, you're very inspiring in how you're giving back to your community. That's a good thing here. And I'm just going to, here, before Lois the Low take us home, I'm on... yeah, and everybody can still get the 25th anniversary album, Ibifficus. It's been remastered. You can still get that.
Yay.
And Ibifficus, you can read that. And soon I'm going to be at the premiere of Ibifficus whenever you guys finish it. I can't wait to see this documentary.
Awesome.
Awesome. You're awesome. And that brings us to the end of our 1529th show. I'm at Toronto Mike, so Twitter, Blue Sky, all over the place, but you can go to torontomike.com. Much love to all who made this possible. Again, that's Great Lakes Brewery, Palma Pasta, RecycleMyElectronics.ca, the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team. Get your ass to Christie Pitts, 2 o'clock Sunday. Be there. And Ridley Funeral Home. See you all tomorrow, when my special guest is, Fergus Hambleton. Do you know Fergus?
I don't know Fergus.
From the Satellites. It's going to be a
don't
great
know
chat.
Fergus.
He's a local musician that people know and love. We'll be talking tomorrow. See you all then.